This conference will now be recorded.
So let me just go over the agenda. First of all, we're just going to briefly talk about Google Slides and how they work. And then we're going to jump right into converting a worksheet. And this is a standard worksheet that you would normally just make 30 copies of and hand out to the students. We're going to convert that over to a Google Sheet. I decided to do it this way because, well, full disclosure, I don't know a ton about Google Slides. I've never been a real fan of slideshow presentations. And so I started doing some research on it, and I found out that, well, I'm not a big fan of Google Slides. Teachers love Google Slides. And the reason they like it so much is because most teachers find it very easy to convert a worksheet to a Google Slide presentation that's interactive that the kids can do. So that's primarily why Google Slides are so popular with teachers. So I decided to spend most of our time doing that exact activity. Let me reshare my screen here. Okay, so first of all, let me just go to a new slide. Well, I'll just use this one. I'll just highlight some of these items for creating slides up here. First of all, this one here is just how you add new slides to your presentations. And then you can move forward or backwards in those slides using these two buttons. And then you can print your Google Slides, which is quite often very important. Sometimes you just need to print a copy for a kid that was absent or something like that. The main toolbar area is this area right here. And this pointer selection just allows you to select the different items that are in the slide. This is how you add text to your slide. This is adding images to the slides. This is adding shapes to your slide and lines to your slide. We're going to cover every single one of those tools today. We're just going to use them live. They're really super easy. So let's go through. What I did is I downloaded a PDF from Beyond Textbooks. And this worksheet is a compare and contrast worksheet where you read the text and then you list your lions and tigers and you list the similarities and then the differences. They also have this section, points of contrast, in here that I didn't end up putting in my slide. But this is the conversion that I created. I have one slide with the text for, and some of this needs to be cleaned up. I just noticed. I just copied, highlighted, and copied the text from the PDF and did a cut and paste into the text box for that. But I noticed I just did that like 5 minutes ago. And I noticed looking at it now that this text is kind of messed up. there's some cleaning up that it needs to do. You will find with Google Slides that the importing slides from like a PowerPoint or something like that, you probably end up, or when you're just cut and paste text like I did here, you probably end up with more cleanup that you have to do than with other file types that you can bring into a Google application. So I created one sheet for the lions, another sheet for the tigers, and then I have a page here for the similarities, and I'm going to put a text box in here that the kids can type in their own slide. My plan is to share this with the students, and then they make their own copy and they actually fill out the text. And then on the differences, I'm going to have two text bodies where text areas where they can list how lions and tigers are different. That's the activity. I've already created this. This is only partially ready to go because all of these items, if the kids are in here, if you send it this way, they can select these items and then they can hit the delete key and mess up the activity. And so we don't want that. So there's a hack that teachers have come up with where they create the background the way they like it, and then they save it. They save the slide as an image, and then they create a new slide and make that image the background of the slide. And the backgrounds are not, you can't select them. You could go up and change background here, but you can't accidentally select it and delete it and mess with it. So it's a nice clean way of doing that. The next thing I'm going to do, so let me go back to the agenda. This is the workflow that this is your best practice workflow here for creating a document like this. First, format the page, create the backgrounds that you want, save those slides as images, create new slides with image as your background, and then create your interactive portions. So just so you see how easy it is, I'm going to recreate the differences slide. I'm just going to create a new slide, and it comes with some default objects. I don't want any of those, so I'm going to hold down Control and just rubber band around them and to select them and delete them, get those out of the way. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my images, because that's usually like the hardest part. So I'm going to search the web for images, and I'm going to do clip art tiger. And hopefully I can find that same exact one. I'm not finding it today. Did you think I passed it? Well, let's just use this one.
Hal, are you recreating the same slide that you are trying to turn into the background? Is that what you're doing?
I am. I could just cut and paste them from the other one, but
can I give you a really fast shortcut?
What, the duplicate?
No, so go on that. Now go to File.
Okay.
Now hit Download. Go over to PNG.
So you're getting ahead of me. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
You're getting ahead of me.
It does your whole page, so you don't have to just do each picture. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to kind of go through the steps just to demonstrate how
Okay.
easy it is.
Okay.
So we'll add this one. We'll use this tiger here. And it's really big, so I'm going to resize that thing. And then I'm going to do another search for a lion. And there's the same one. All right. Now those are probably a little too high, so I'm going to make some room. And so I got my clip art. And the next thing I need to do is just add this text here that says differences. And I need to pick my font. And I think I did that with a very large font, like 30. I'm going to center the text. Let's make that even bigger. There we go. And then the next thing I wanted was I want a border around that box, that text box. So I'm just going to go to borders and pick this dashed border. I probably will do that. There we go. Okay, and then I had arrows going to each side. I'm just going to go to the shapes screen, and I'm just going to draw this arrow out here, and I'm going to give it the same border. I'm going to hit, let's do it, copy and paste. So I just pasted another arrow just like I did. And there's a cool trick with these things. You can just grab one of these X's that are over. Oh, that's kind of small, isn't it, guys? I need to zoom in here. You can just grab this one of these boxes and drag it over, and it just reverses the arrow really quick. So I'm going to put that on that red line that pops up. That tells me that it's centered with the other one. This one's not, so let's center it. All right. And now all I need is, well, I need 4 more items. I just need these boxes and the question to wrap this up. So I'm under shapes. I'm going to go and I'm going to pick these rounded boxes like this. Did I not do that? Okay. And I want the fill color. I like that, you know, that background fill. And I'm just going to make this go up like that. It's probably a little too wide. Copy and paste. So now I have 2 boxes, one for the lion, one for the tiger. They're a little bit too big, aren't they? Well, maybe if this was... All right, no, that's looking good. So Lastly, I need my questions. How is a lion different than a tiger? All right, and then I'm going to just copy that one. Can't be in edit mode to copy it. And paste. How is a tiger different than a lion? Okay. So you can see that that was really quick. It didn't take much time. It was a little quicker because I've already practiced it, so I'll admit that. But it didn't take very long for me to create this thing, you know. And so you can convert worksheets over pretty quick, and it looks pretty snazzy. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get to Deanne's suggestions on how to duplicate them really quick. I'm just going to delete this slide because it's already duplicated. And this is, again, just like my other one, it's got parts here that are clickable, and I don't want the kids to be able to do that. And so I'm just going to go to the File menu and download as a PNG. There's two image formats that you can download things as, Jpeg and PNG, and they both work pretty much the same. PNG, though, is a lossless compression rate type. And so sometimes with PNGs you'll get some compression factoring in the images. So I'm just going to do it as a PNG. I'm going to go to my downloads folder, and there's an image of that slide. Oh, that didn't show up on screen. I think I shared my application and not my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to go to my downloads folder. And there it is. There's the PNG image of that slide that I created. So now if I create a new slide, get rid of this junk, I'm holding control and just rubber banding around everything, hitting the delete key to get rid of it. Then I go up to background and choose image. I'm going to browse to my downloads folder and choose that lions and tigers. And now that the image is the background, and I cannot click anywhere in here and select any of those items like I could when it was over here. So it's kind of protected from little fingers, if you will. So now, in order to make this interactive, all I have to do is type my box here, or make my text box here, and click here to type. And then I'm going to use the shortcut keys this time. I use Control C and Control V. And then go over, and now the part that the kids can click on, you can That's the only part that you can click on. So it does make it a little bit more fiddle proof, or I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but it does make it so that they can only do that part which you want them to mess with, and not anything else. All right, so I'm going to delete this original, and I'm going to go to this one. This one still hasn't been converted, so I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to go to my file menu, download PNG. Let's do JPEG this time, just to compare them. Why not? I'm going to create a new slide, get rid of the stuff I don't want, and go to the background, choose image, browse to my image, and which one is it going to be? I think it's this one. So the image name there was it was using the name of my my sheet, and so that's why they both had the same name. So that can get a little confusing. You could change the name in between, but you can't pick the name of the file that it creates. But now this one is also, I can't click on any of that because it's the background. So I just have to create my text area here and click here to type. And I can delete this original. Yep. So I just right click on that slide and select delete. And now my workbook is all, well, almost. I got a teeny bit more here to clean up. Excuse me, this text. I wonder if that was 2 paragraphs on the original. I don't think it was. Oh, let's make this a larger font. Yeah. Let's go back that and do that for both of them. Ah, 18's too big. Got to leave it at 14. All right. So that's a worksheet that's ready to go. Really simple to do. But the key to, kind of doing this successfully is the ability to create a slide and the way you want it, and then save that as an image and make that image the background, so that the only part that they can actually click on is where you want them to click. That's kind of the secret to that. I could also take a screenshot of this, print screen. And if you're on Windows or Mac, this is going to be a little bit different. But I can go in and edit this image. Pick my crop tool. I'm done. Exit. And now I can bring that image in as a background. None of this is clickable. So then I can just go in here and create my text boxes. It's going to require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 text boxes to convert that over to an interactive slide. So it's, it's not terribly difficult. Let's see, we're at 26 after. So I got another, I'm going to do another worksheet. But I'm actually going to stop recording.